cooking over there?
Man.
What happened, bro?
Market's hot, baby.
Let's go.
So,
right.
you were telling me that you've been getting a lot of calls from some buyers and stuff.
Yes.
So, they're saying it's a buyer's market. What can you tell us?
You know what? Let me tell a couple of stories, Steve.
Sure.
You had your listings that came on right before the ones that we have on the market now together, right?
Yeah.
You listed it with Sonia.
Yes.
Right down the street from your house on Shellbark.
Yeah.
That was in the middle of April.
Yes, correct.
Right, or end of April, beginning of May,
Yes.
right there. So we got to see the market from that moment. It's looking under the hood, for those of you who like cars, right? Looking under the hood, what's going in the market. Not looking at the news, not looking at it, even the market MLS data that can't tell you what you have when you have a listing, right?
Correct.
So we were able to see that one in about 10 days. You were in contract.
Yes,
with
multiple
right?
offers, yeah.
And so then we went over, you listed Park Sharon. It was a couple that was in divorce, so let's get the listing, and it
Yes.
took a while because there was an attorney. And so by the time you got that one on the market, things had slowed down a little bit. Took about 50 days to
Yes.
get that to that multiple offer level, right?
Correct.
So now was end of May.
Yes.
Right, so we're looking
Early
at
June, yeah.
Yep. So we're looking at a slowing market, but you still were able to generate multiple offers.
We did,
with
yep.
a little more time on the market. And then here comes Azúcar, right? 64 Azúcar, and we were on the market for about 4 weeks, going
Yes.
into week 5, right? And then we start to see we lower the price to get buyers a little more excited about it. Have another open house. Steve's working his butt off for 6 hours at 64 Azúcar for 2 days each. And so there we found we're about 30 days on the market. We had 3 offers. We countered all 3.
Amazing.
They accepted all 3.
Awesome.
And so we got multiple offers down to 30 days around the same market, right? Each listing is different. Each market is a little different. Zip code, neighborhood, square footage, right? But we're able to see that change where our buyer had 3 choices. And I don't see that as a buyer's market at all.
Exactly.
I see that as a seller's market.
Yes.
So tell me, what can sellers do right now to generate multiple offers?
So Spice makes excellent points, right?
Yeah.
First
Sellers.
thing is that, it's not a buyer's market. The homes, if you do a good job of pricing it, and you do the things that we let the sellers know, like staging, doing some touch-up paint, making the property look really nice, the property is going to generate multiple offers, just like we did on Azúcar. And guess what? Those 2 other buyers missed out.
Yes, they did.
So now they're like kicking themselves because they waited 3 weeks after to put an offer where they should have put an offer that first week. So if you're listening and you're a buyer and you're thinking, when is a good time to start looking at buying a home? Well, right now is a good time.
Absolutely.
Because you're only competing with still 2 or 3 offers, where before it's going to get to 5 or 7 offers.
Right.
So, that's why it's very important that you contact Steve and Tobias so we can sit down, do a free consultation, and we can kind of walk you through the steps. But more importantly is we're in the battlefield. We've been in the open houses for the last 8 weeks in a row.
Absolutely.
So we've seen where only 2 people have come through the open houses, to last week we had 24 people come to the open houses. So we know exactly what is going on. So
and sellers, you think it's buyers, good time to get in because there's less competition. Sellers, guess what's going to happen with all the inventory that's been sitting around? Boop, boop, boop. You're going to start seeing those signs that have been up, going pending, and buyers are going to be desperately looking for something. So if you're thinking about, when is the right time to sell, talk to Steve and I, because it may not be right in this moment, but we can work with you over the next 2 months, 3 months to really find out when are the most buyers going to be on the market to have your property ready.
Yeah, well, we just talked to the seller that just called us last week. They have tenants in there, and they are really considering putting their property on the market. So it was great. The lease is coming up in end of July, and they wanted to know if they can go on the market or not. Perfect. That way we can give them the steps so that they can prepare their property and then we can go on the
Absolutely.
market and stuff.
All right, well, let's go. If you got any questions, give us a call at
858-1348.
or 831-238-3236. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.